In the near future, where AI matchmaking promised love tailored to algorithms and compatibility matrices, EverKind Brides reigned supreme. Their slogan echoed across billboards and holograms alike. Perfect match, perfect life. Valerie, a soft-spoken woman in her late 20s, had spent most of her years in quiet solitude, tucked behind language datasets and the sterile glow of a cubicle screen. A lifetime of measured choices and hushed emotions. But somewhere beneath it all, she still yearned, for purpose, for connection, for someone. So, she submitted her profile to EverKind. A week later, a crisp hologram flickered into her apartment. Agent Mira stood within it, sleek suit, synthetic charm, and a smile calculated to soothe. "Valerie, congratulations," she chirped. "You've been chosen for a placement with the Dreyson family. Coastal estate, upper-tier society. Everything in your profile aligned with their preferences, and we know you'll be adored. Your husband, Elias, is, well, let's say, wonderfully grounded in traditions. You'll be safe, loved, provided for." 3 days later, Valerie stood at the iron gates of House Dreyson, perched along the weather-beaten cliffs of Everland Bay. The scent of salt hung thick in the air. The roses lining the path were too red, lush like spilled ink against steel-gray stone. No one waited beside her soon-to-be husband. Instead, the door opened to reveal a tall, elegant woman in layered grayscale silks. Her eyes were sharp, her posture regal. Behind her stood 2 young women, twins, dressed alike in ivory lace and half-smiles. Their names were Lisa and Ellen. They watched Valerie like collectors assessing a new acquisition. Mrs. Dreyson stepped forward. "My dear Valerie," she said warmly, "we are overjoyed. Elias had urgent travel just yesterday, dreadfully last minute, but he speaks of you constantly." Valerie smiled politely, but something inside her hesitated. "It's lovely to meet you all," she said. "Will he be back soon?" One of the sisters, Lyra, she later learned, tilted her head and replied with a flat, unreadable tone. "Oh, eventually. He's very unpredictable. You get used to it." Inside the house, the air was perfumed and quiet. Everything was pristine. Too pristine. No photos of Elias. No belongings. Not a single item that suggested a man actually lived there. Yet the family treated her like royalty. Every morning, dresses appeared in her wardrobe, tailored to her measurements. Gilded dinners were prepared. Late at night, Lisa and Ellen invited her for tea, asking oddly personal questions while never offering anything of their own. Elias remained absent. Valerie messaged Agent Mira. No reply. She tried EverKind's hotline. A disembodied voice echoed cheerfully through the line. "Please be patient. Love takes time to settle in. Elias is fortunate to have you. Trust is the foundation of unity." On the 6th day, Valerie decided to stop waiting. That evening, she feigned a headache and slipped away during supper. Her steps carried her to the east wing, where few dared to wander. Past velvet drapes and locked doors, she discovered a study. It looked untouched. But beneath a framed mirror near the door, she found a small brass key. Inside the room, dust-coated old books and family ledgers. On a side table lay letters, aged, yellowed, and a photo. A man's face. Elias perhaps, his eyes scratched out in red ink. Heart-pounding, Valerie opened the bottom drawer of the desk. There, folded among torn documents, was a certificate. Elias Dreyson. Deceased. March 24th. Cause of death. Unknown, ***. The date. Just 2 weeks before her arrival. A noise behind her made her spin around. Mrs. Dreyson stood in the doorway, silhouetted by candlelight, her voice dripped calm. "Looking for something, dear?" Valerie hid the panic in her throat. "Just exploring," she said with a steady smile. "The house is magnificent." Mrs. Dreyson's smile stretched just a little too wide. "That's lovely to hear. We do so want you to feel at home." She walked away without another word. Valerie gripped the certificate tighter as she stared into the shadows. There was no husband. There never had been. And something about this family, so polished, so poised, reeked of a secret so dark it stained the air. But she had signed the contract. The papers were binding. She was the wife now, and someone would have to answer for Elias Dreyson's death.